We might be going live any second now, and if we are, and we're live already and I'm not 100% ready, never mind. Look, welcome everybody. I'm absolutely tickled pink to be here, to be putting this all together like I have been asked to. And I'm a very good girl and I do listen to my soul and I do what I'm told. So if you're here, fantastic, well done. I'm really, really excited. This challenge, without challenging me too much, technically, is all about how you can create things from the inside out. And I'm specifically talking about this week, how you can create a new body out of thin air, how you create things from the inside out. It is all about what you concentrate on and how you're creating. So we've got 5 days, 45 minutes, 60 minutes of being able to go through what you've created so far and how to go about creating something else. So if that sounds exciting to you, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you're not watching this on live, if you're watching this on replay, please let me know. I am going to be setting you tasks this week. And these are tasks that I work with people when I work with people on a long-term basis on a soul-to-soul journey. They are phenomenal at being able to turn things around and get you to have things on a different perspective and no bounds as to what you can create. I'm in the process of writing a book about how my soul intervened and said hello. These are all techniques that I've been shown how to do that really turn things around 180 degrees from how you have created them so far. We will be today talking about your mind, your thoughts, and how they produce energy, create things into matter. We'll be looking at your feelings on day 2. We'll be looking at cellular memory. We'll be looking at hormones. And of course, we will look at the nutrition, but nutrition is only 10% of how the body is actually created. There's an awful lot that goes on behind the scenes. It's not your fault that you haven't been able to stick to your diet or change your nutrition, or whenever you've started something new, you haven't been able to stick to it. I hear often, I know what to do, but I just, Fiona, I can't stick to it. I can't do it for myself. I don't know why. Things are not working. I also hear, I try and eat healthy. I know what I should be eating again, the same thing again, but it doesn't fill me up. I don't feel satisfied. I don't understand it. I don't really like that kind of way of eating. So there's just something else going on that you need to be able to understand. So I'm going to help you unravel all of that this week. And the tasks that I have for you to do, if you feed those back to me, I will look at them and I will give you hints and tips and markers as to kind of how they need to be tweaked, how they need to be changed, the finer details of what needs to go on. I'm not looking at my phone while I'm doing this. I'm not going to look at anything else to see if there's any messages, if there's any questions. I will answer all your questions later. If you have anything specific, you can PM me, or please put it in the thread of where the video is, because that's where I'm going to be sort of getting feedback and things like that as well. So the homework that I've got for you this week, the more people who take part, you're in the hat, and you will have a full consultation with me so that you can break through to the other side. You can really understand what the main things are that are affecting you and influencing your body to do what she's doing. It's all a soulful journey. So we're going to be learning how to master your thoughts, master your feelings, master your cellular memory, the whole gambit, the whole thing. So yeah, like I said, it's not your fault that things haven't really worked out the way that you planned when you started that diet, or like me, if you started dieting when you're about 12 years old and it just became a battle. And every single time you started a diet or you worked with somebody, you think, yeah, that's interesting. But you knew deep inside that things just were not going deep enough for you. You weren't getting the answers that you knew lay behind all of that. So my aim is that I will get you past that, and I will get you to a place where you are just at peace with food. It's no longer the enemy. You're at peace with food. And when you start feeding your soul, when your soul feels 100% alive and she's being paid attention to, this is you feeding your soul, it is a completely different experience. It's a quantum leap that you will have with your body. You will understand everything that is going on within your body. Nobody gets to understand your body your body better than you. You should be the last one who says, this is what's happening with my body and this is what I will do with it. No other person, a doctor or a nutritionist or anything else, has the insight into your body like you do. Only you get to have the last word on what your body is really, really wanting. We want to be able to revive your appetite for life and not just restrict your appetite so that you're not eating quite so much. If you're eating more than you should be, maybe there's something to do with your appetite for life. This will be your soul coming through. This will be your soul demanding your attention to give you more appetite for life. So we have 5 days to make a radical quantum leap with your body and to understand the invisible influences of what's going on behind the scenes. So we'll be looking at your mindset today so that you can have a peaceful mindset to do with your body. You have to begin to understand that thoughts become things. There's nothing more powerful or more responsive and responds faster than your body to the way that you're thinking about your body and the way that you're feeling about your body. Your thoughts carry energy, and your thoughts become energy, the energy becomes matter. The more often you think the same things, they become true for you. You start to believe them. The stories that you have, the memories that you have, how you identify with your body, these things become denser and denser. The more you believe them, the more they can become true within your body. Therefore, they solidify, become denser, and they create form in your body. So you get physical ailments. And I'm not just talking weight, like carrying weight around your belly or on your hips or on your bum and things like that. They become form, as in neck ache, shoulder ache, sciatica, cystitis. They create form in your body. So that's how your body works. Just getting messages through. Just going to put somebody here in the group because they are struggling to get in. So just that's what I'm going to do. And of course, this is the day one, so sometimes things are not going quite as smoothly as we want. People are not turning up on time, which is fine. You've got 24 hours to watch these videos, by the way, ladies. And then what happens is I take the video down from whatever the challenge has been today, and they go onto my mastermind. So let me just see what's happening there. I'll go back to the minute. So going back to where I was, thoughts become energy, energy becomes matter. The more we think the same thing, the more it becomes true. The more it comes true, the more we believe it. And the more it becomes a story, our identity, we live it, we breathe it, and it just becomes matter and solidifies and lives then within our body. It becomes form. It creates form in our body. And if it's not from feeling uncomfortable, having issues physically, like physical symptoms like weight, it then becomes, you know, a little bit more serious. Like, so for ladies who get breast cancer and things like that, those are really old stories eating away at you. So before we get to those stages, let's deal with the weight. Let's understand what's going on with the weight. Let's understand the kind of things that we're thinking so that we can actually clear those up once and for all. Right, okay, let's go here. Oh, not the way the world works. All right, so there's something that's very interesting about what I've noticed. I noticed it with myself, and I noticed with other people that were coming through and I was dealing with. Every unhappy soul, man or woman, will always find the reasons to stay in lack, being unhappy. You will always find thoughts, you will always find excuses, you will always find reasons and stories to stay there. So today we are particularly working on how thoughts become things. We're going to start here with this first section, thoughts become things. You really have to have a clear objective and aim. Many times when I speak to women to begin with their weight, to do with their thoughts about their weight, they haven't really decided, they haven't really made a decision, an intention about how much weight do I want to lose? And when do I want to lose it by? It's all a bit vague, it's all a bit chaotic, it's all a bit fluffy. As soon as you start to ask somebody, so exactly how much you want to lose and by when, it's like, oh, that's a little bit difficult, isn't it? I haven't really thought about it. Exactly. You want to get crystal clear on what your aim and your objective is. So this is part one of your homework, if you like. How much exactly do you want to lose and by when? But if it's a large amount and you can't really imagine it, break it down into what your first step would be. So what do you feel is reasonable? Well, maybe in the first month, well, maybe I could lose a stone, something like that. So what would that be, like 20 pounds, 25 pounds, something like that, or maybe less. You feel what you were able to do, and then you can block it out. You can make those sort of like steps. And as soon as you get to the first goal and you've reached it before you said you were going to, because of all the things that I'm going to teach you this week, the invisible identifiers, then you'll be able to get clearer and you'll be able to believe that it's possible. If you haven't got a clear goal, if you haven't got a clear objective, if you've never really stated how much you want to lose and by when, it's all a bit too vague. There's nothing that you can get a hold on. There's nothing that you can grasp. There's nothing that your soul can work with, because you've never actually said what it is that you want. You've never spoken it. You've never admitted it. You've never given it shape and meaning and form. That means that you can't really see it. You can't really imagine it. And your thinking is just one of the best ways to start working with your imagination. So how will I be? How will I look? How will I feel? Have you ever decided to describe it? How much detail have you put in there? You've never thought about it, so have you never thought about it in this way before? You've never given it that much detail. What kind of clothes will I like to wear? I'm not going to just wear clothes that fit me. I'm going to wear clothes that I absolutely love. What colours would I wear? I wouldn't just wear black all the time, and I wouldn't just wear that, you know, those baggy jumpers, or like I used to do, like men's jumpers and things like that. So first of all, how much and by when? Have you got any way of looking and describing and telling a story of how it is that you want to be, how you're going to walk, how you're going to talk, how you're going to turn up in places, how you're going to walk in the room, what kind of clothes you're going to wear. What will you do instead? What kind of activities will you do instead? You know, how much more adventurous will you be? How will it be like when you're around your friends? How will you accept compliments? What kind of detail have you given yourself so that you can start creating it, believing it, talking about it? Thoughts become energy, thoughts and energy becomes matter. You start believing it, you start shaping it, you start telling different stories. Sometimes you don't tell the stories because you're too frightened to fail. If you don't have a clear objective, then you kind of go, well, I wasn't going to go, didn't really want it anyway. So you're allowing that to just sand slip through your fingers. You're allowing yourself not to really grasp hold of it because just in case it doesn't happen. I won't tell anybody just in case it doesn't happen, so that you're not holding yourself accountable because you're too frightened to fail and look like a failure. If that's your greatest fear, that you will be a failure. How you see yourself is how you create yourself. How you talk about yourself is how you create yourself. If you're saying things like, I've never got any really good results, and you know, it's so long since I've ever had results, you know, is that possible for me? I feel really kind of hopeless. I don't really believe it's suitable for me, possible for me. It's okay for them. They can have it. I understand that they can have it, but no, because you haven't described it. You haven't told your soul what it is that you want to look for, what it is that you want to be available for. What is it that you would really, really love? This is what we're going to be working on and designing and creating for you. If you're coming from a place of hopelessness, can you feel what hopeless feels like inside your body? It's like, it wasn't going to work for me anyway. Just give up. Don't even try. I'm not going to try. Well, I tried, didn't really work. There's a feeling of hopelessness. I wonder if you can just tune into that. There's a feeling inside your belly of, yeah, it's hopelessness. I can't put it any other clearer than that. Just like, yeah, well, not for me. And if you're in the habit of complaining about the way you look, so don't forget, how you see yourself is how you create yourself. How you talk about yourself is how you create yourself. Words and thoughts carry energy. If you're complaining, if you're in body hate, if you're in body disgust, if you're in body, I don't like it, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to talk about it, I really don't like it, I hate the clothes I wear, I've got nothing to wear, don't like going out, don't like being seen, just look at me from here please, don't look at the rest of me, don't really want to go to the beach ever, don't really ever want to go to that party ever. That will carry vibration and that will carry energy. We really need to be able to pull your overthinking mind out of that. So just for this very precise moment, because you've been thinking those thoughts, I want you to pull your energy away from that. Keep very still, concentrate on something, one thing in front of you, bring yourself back into your body, listen to the sound in your ears, and be conscious of your heart beating. Bring yourself back into your body and out of your overthinking head. When we're in these negative states of self-doubt, self-criticism, it's been so long since I've had results, you're in a particular kind of energy that you want to pull yourself out of, get in the habit of pulling yourself out of that. There's part of your mind that is addicted to that kind of energy. There is part of your mind who likes to stay in that kind of energy because you've become so used to it. It's become home. You're addicted to the kind of chemicals that run around your body. We'll talk about that later on in the next few master classes that I've got, these classes I'm putting together for the next 5 days. You like it. You're so used to it, you don't even know that you're doing it. So there is cellular memory on this, in this place as well. You're reminding yourself of hopelessness. Actually, I don't really feel safe enough to be in the body that I dream about, that I fantasize about, that I'm thinking would be nice, because, well, I don't really feel that safe, because you see, I get all jittery, get a bit shy, feel a little bit vulnerable. I don't feel safe enough to actually be there. So the cellular memory that's triggering you and not allowing you to go any further, because it feels safer here. You're addicted to feeling where you're feeling. You can only really believe about the failure and the hopelessness because that feels safe. That is in your cellular memory. If you've had a traumatic experience with your body, it's very, very unlikely that you don't feel safe. It could be just an argument, or being brought up by somebody who's a bully, or being in an abusive relationship, or having had abuse, or it's just somebody being very vulgar towards you. There's trauma being held in your body, and there's cellular memory to do with that trauma. And she's like, no, I think we'll just kind of want to stay a little bit invisible for a while. You see how it makes me squirm? Does it make you squirm as well? It's like, you haven't taught yourself what it's actually going to feel like, and how confident and phenomenally strong you're going to feel when you're inside the body that you want to be in, when you're living your life feeling like a strong woman, incredibly able to deal with everything that's going on in your life, when you're winning the world. Winners are simply prepared to do the things that losers are not prepared to do. That means changing your state of mind, changing the thoughts, the energy that's going around, changing what you think is true, changing the stories that are going on in your body. You have a very clear path of the thoughts you want to be thinking. You're laser focused on how awesome it's going to be and the stories you're going to tell when you're in the body that you want to be in. You're so clear and so driven that it feels so awesome, and all the things that you're going to be able to do, and all the things you're going to be able to wear, and the places you can go, and the relationships you can have, and the fun you're going to have. It's a completely different story about when you don't really have a clear objective and you're a little bit wishy-washy about what really goes on. And I can't imagine it, really can't imagine it. I'm asking you to create it in a different way so that you can imagine it. You can see yourself walking into a room completely differently, and you start to own it, and you start to believe it, and you start to talk about it, and you start to write about it, and you start to tell a different story. You are now creating a different version of you than you were creating before. How you see yourself is how you create yourself. We want to create a different version of you, so you're going to have to start talking and thinking in a different way about yourself. Imagine it. Imagine it with as much detail as possible. I cannot tell you enough, and I guarantee you that when you start telling a different story, when you start imagining it and adding colour into it and feeling it and colouring it in great detail, your soul, your body starts to believe it's true. There's only now, as the present moment, that your body believes. Your subconscious knows no difference to what is delusional, imaginary, or what is actually being lived right now. As soon as you tell your cells and your cellular memory, give it a different story, and the more often you tell that story, your thoughts become that energy, and your body will create itself based on that energy. The more often you can be in that energy, the more often that that will manifest, the more often that that will be created for you. Your body will create form on the thoughts that you have. This is really, really powerful stuff. This is phenomenal, phenomenal self-belief, inner strength. This is when you start to find your self-worth and you start to see evidence. You kind of go, I don't really want to eat like that. I don't really feel that hungry. Or you become very aware and you find that you are questioning yourself and curious how much better you could feel, how much more exciting life would be. You have evidence that you're eating differently, you're thinking differently, and you're wanting different things in the next phase of your life. You don't want the next 50 years to be the same as the last 50 years. You want things to be so much more exciting, so much more enjoyable. Every happy man and every happy woman finds reasons to be happy, finds reasons to really enjoy what they're doing in their life and with their body, and the clothes that they're wearing and the jewelry they're enjoying and the experiences and the adventures. Can you see the difference? Every woman, man and child who's having a really great experience inside their body will find the stories, will find the experiences, and will start to believe that there's nothing better than that. You make a decision and you understand why you're doing what you're doing. These are your thoughts. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's your big, big why? Why are you so interested in living a different experience in your body? This is going deeper, that no diet's going to take you there. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. Changing your food or going for exercise doesn't feed your big why, doesn't feed your imagination, doesn't help you laser focus what is going on in your body and what you're thinking and what you're telling yourself. Actually, I feel rather good today. I really enjoy this good feeling physical body. I enjoy the prospect of being able to go for a much longer walk or a hike or ride a horse or go surfing or have a great lover. Those things are what ignite you and come out of your big why. This is the exciting stuff that drives you to create a new body. Find examples of when you felt absolutely fantastic in your body, when you felt so alive, and just sink into that feeling more and more and more so that you're like really appreciating, loving the sensation of being in the body that you're in so that you can tell a different story. Your playtime that I will read and I will come back to you and I will give you which bits really need tweaking and tuning up and turning on and in a completely different story, how they can be phrased in a completely different way so that your soul hears you. Your homework for the next couple of days is to tell a different story. And I want you to write it. Now be brave. Put that story in the group. Show your soul, show yourself that you are creating, that you'll have a very clear objective of what you want to experience. Be laser focused, put in as much detail as possible. And tomorrow we'll add more onto that story. Create a different story for yourself of how to create your body out of thin air. So put the story out there. What's it going to be like? Who are you in the next phase of your life? How are you going to walk? How are you going to talk? state how much you're going to lose and by when. Or if it's not a weight that you want to lose, how do you want it to look and feel? Create a new vision, imagination, detail, create. I cannot put this plainer about how your imagination is your biggest tool. Remember, your subconscious knows no difference, God, I could keep doing that, to your delusional experience or the experience of the self-hate that you're putting into your body and the form that she is then creating from those words. The more active you are to do with this challenge this week, the more you will see evidence. And I will give the person who's the most active, who's being able to change their story the most, this is a challenge, to be very descriptive, to be very objective, to have a new aim, like a dartboard. What is it that you want, so that we can change your cellular memory, we can change your story, and we can have you living in a new version of you. How you see yourself is how you create yourself. So let's become phenomenally strong and laser focused as to what you want to say and think and feel within your body. And we'll be working on that every single day this week, giving it more and more and more detail. This is a beautiful journey. Take part in this challenge. Take part in this. This is my masterclass of how you create something out of nothing, how you create out of thin air. There's nothing that responds faster than your body to how you think and how you feel. I am Fiona Robertson. I've been doing this for years. I am a body whisperer. I am understanding the messages from the soul when they come through in form, so that we can unravel them, undo them, and just chuck them away and create a new version of you. These videos will be here for 24 hours and then I'll take them down and they're part of my masterclass. There is no deeper journey that you will go on in the next 5 days. So take advantage of that. Let me know what your questions are. Let me know what's going on. Write me the story, 1 page. I will read it, I will break it down, and I will just give you some pointers as to how that could just be a much, much different story for you going forward. Again, I really hope this has been helpful. If there are any questions, put them in the thread. I will answer those questions as best as I possibly can. If not, then I'll set up a one-to-one with you so that we can go through it in finer detail. This is what I do. We are creating things from your thoughts. We're creating form from your thoughts, creating a new version of you, connecting you with your body, with your soul, and giving you peace of mind. I love you to the moon and back. This is so worth doing. And there's so much more waiting for you, believe me, than choosing potluck or saying, that'll do. I'm sorry, ladies, but that just will not do. I will not have it for you. I can feel the pain that you're in. Believe me, it makes me burp when I'm doing my clearing sessions. I can feel the pain that you're in, and it is not acceptable. I will not accept it on your behalf. So with love from me, Fiona, and with love from my soul, Roma, we work together as a team to bring you with your soul as a team. And I'll be back again tomorrow. How you see yourself is how you create yourself. So create a different vision, create a different story. I look forward to reading your stories. Bye-bye, ladies. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. And I'll see you all this week.